Start where you stand. Take stack and prepare. What strength do you hold? What gaps need care? Opportunity calls. Let courage ignite. Pack what you need and step into the light. Listen, man, dream big and but be clear. Dream big, but be clear. Listen, man, dream big and but be clear. Dream big, but be clear. That's kind of like the concept of this small poetic rendition. All right, it's all about having a vision. But welcome to the Conscious Edge podcast, The Conscious Edge. Poem Your Conscious. Listen, man, welcome to the Conscious Edge, Poem Your Conscious. Where we, give some poetic dose, man, for you being consciously exposed. Listen, man, we really kind of exciting to kind of start this podcast, in a very unique way because for us, for me as a poet and a consultant, in the business consulting world, we do business consulting, kind of really helping leaders, organization in a diverse business ecosystem, locally and globally, to really use a unique consultant model that we have, just to improve, if you're thinking about the workplace, right? Organizational culture, engaging your consumer, improving your team development, team performance, looking at marketing and branding. How do you improve that? Reframing even diversity, equity, inclusion from a global perspective, because we're living locally but thriving in a globalized world. So it does require just to move things differently. It does require leaders, small business, corporate leaders, investors, as you enter this new year to really reframe and reshape things. So this is where we come in. I think for us, as a management consultant firm / business consultant firm, we are very unique. We do things differently. For us, this podcast is really, inviting you all to step into a world where art meets strategy, culture drive innovation. And I think the Conscious Edge is pretty much about your goal guide where, we want to transform leadership, right? Build stronger brands, really looking at discovering global opportunity, especially the African markets, right? We want this Conscious Edge podcast, really we cater to just entrepreneurs, investors, leaders, really to explore how we work. And what is our consultant model? Listen, our consultant model is called APC. It stands for Artistic, Psychological, Cultural Strategy. APC, Artistic, Psychological, Cultural Strategy. So we can make you money. and with this consultant model, it's very unique. We have many case study with our clients and that we have used to really improve results. It's all about reshaping the workplaces, inspire creativity, and open doors to really global markets, especially the African markets. So yeah, tune in for actionable insights, some stories, some strategy. Right now we're kind of basing things on tip, man. You need some tip, you need some strategy, especially New Year. Really here to help you thrive locally and globally. So yeah, it's all about elevate your mindset. Your business and your impact, your concept. But yeah, in the beginning, man, this poetic rendition was all about starting where you are. Our first episode, we really want to dive in on this concept of strategic planning. That's the title of our first episode, and we're talking about what is it, right? And one thing that's very interesting when we're talking about strategic planning, it's basically, think of it as like a roadmap, right? Think of it as a GPS. Yeah, GPS direction for your future, you know. But where do you start, man? That's the question. I think to have a strategy for business or a project, whether in your personal professional career, we need to constantly talking about strategic planning, you know, But it all starts first with where are you? Assessment. In terms of assessment, you gotta take stock of your current situation. You gotta ask yourself, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Um, what opportunity um, can you take advantage of, right? An example can be like just imagine you packing for a trip, right? What do you do already? What do you already have? Oh, sorry, you packing for a trip. You say to yourself, what do you already have? Or what do you need to pick along the way? So these are the things we're talking about. So I think third tip, when you're talking about strategic planning, you got to start first thing assessing where you are. Take stock of your current situation. Number one, list your asset. Basically identify your strength and your resources, right? Second, spot weaknesses. I want to call room for improvement, room for growth. Don't forget that growth, it's also uncomfortable. So it's all about uncomfortable growth. Address any gap as opportunity for growth. Discover new things, right? Um, yeah, three, seize the moment. Act opportunity with confidence. It's very important. I think without confidence, it's hard, man, because at the end of the day, it's all about how you move. It's all about your ability just to stay confident, because without confidence, it's just going to be hard. So for us, the way we really, tack this whole thing, it's basically inspire people to keep going, man. And we use our APC framework in three easy step, that can help you plan your next move. These days, when you plan strategically, have a strategy, you're going to feel stuck, right? And if you're definitely out there feeling stuck, if you're definitely out there just don't have a game, a move, a plan, it's gonna be hard. So that's why for us we're really trying to help people um execute their strategic planning um by really being different. You know what I mean? Um because our specialty has been really in artistic, psychological, cultural strategies, to help people in business find clarity and direction. Like I said, whether you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or not sure of your next steps, and it happens a lot, even as investors, hey, as corporate leaders, as small business, as entrepreneur, as professional, it happens. So we're here to kind of help you create customized plan that connect creativity, emotional intelligence, and cultural insight. Whether you're from a small business owners to a global leaders, right? We want to guide our clients to make confident decisions, solve problems, um, achieve some growth. So we all about fresh perspective and unique way, actionable strategy, just to help you move forward with purpose, especially in this new year. I think it's important to move with purpose, you know. Um, so how do we three easy steps that to help you plan move then, and it's how we use our framework, like I said, APC, which is our consultant model. A stand for artistic, P psychological, C cultural. APC. So one, when we say artistic strategy, we're basically saying that we're inviting you to see the bigger picture. See the bigger picture. Think of this step as a painting your vision, right? You're painting your vision. Um, and what does what does success look for you, right? That's the first thing that we really want to, make the point of what does that what does that look for you? I can't even talk. Yeah, so yeah, artistic strategy, see the bigger picture. Think of this as a step, as painting your vision. Again, the question, what does success look like for you? An example could be, I think, well, just imagine life as a blank canvas. What colors and shape, which mean goals and dreams, do you want to fill in with, right? If you look at a canvas, that's what we mean by artistic strategy. And if you think about also using poetry, vision, storytelling, just a storytelling and creative writing, expressing writing. Think about just multidisciplinary arts in general. How can that be a tool? I can use that as a tool to really express your vision, amplify your vision, see the big pictures. Because art is also a powerful tool that help us also, channel our emotion, write it out, write a thought, from a piece of paper. But you do in a very unique way. Um, Psychological insight simply mean for us, we help you focus on what matter. Yeah, think about what matter. If you're out there really trying to come up with a strategy, think about what matters. Understand your emotions and motivation and mindset. These things are very important. I think that's what matter. Understand your emotion in all of this, right? In your strategy planning, in your strategic planning, in your personal professional development growth. What is your motivation? What about your mindset? Where your mindset? Think about what's holding you back and what gives you energy. An example, like I said, think of yourself. Well, think of yourself as a plant. Are you watering your roof, which means your self-care, your priority? Because you got to figure out what are your priority. It's a lot that we want to do, so many ideas. Figure out your priority, or are you letting weeds, meaning distraction, take over? And let's think about, if you think yourself as a plant, right? Which means it's all about your mindset, your motivation, your emotion. You got to understand these three things and realize what's holding you back and what gives you energy, man. And this is what we mean by psychological insight. Focus on what matters. Cultural intelligence is basically work with your environment. Because when we say we help you integrate some cultural strategy in your strategic planning. That's what we mean by locally environment. The environment is global. I mean, we live locally, thrive in a globalized world. It is a diverse market. We live in a multicultural society. It's a global market. You got to consider yourself, how do you work with your environment locally and also globally? So you got to pay attention to your surrounding and the people around you. How can you plan? How can you plan? How can you plan, right? Align with your community, with your market, or with your teams. An example is very simple. If you're launching a business, if I'm talking to entrepreneur, startup, if you're launching a business, think about how your idea fits into your audience, culture or daily life. Same thing um, with corporate leader, business leaders. We got to be able to think about how we constantly making sure that we serving the consumer, the community around us, basically improving, working in conjunction with our environment. Because if you don't do that, you're going to miss the mark. You know, we need a lot of skill set, a lot of improvement in increasing our cultural intelligence level. And cultural intelligence is just your ability to kind of learn how to work across border, across culture. Yeah, because the world is here. It's around the corner. It's all around us. So that's kind of, the framework. That's kind of some steps to how we kind of support you integrating. Um, we use this our framework APC to kind of help you. We integrate in your journey, right? In your strategy of figuring it out. Yeah, because it got to start where you are, man. That's the first step. Definitely start where you are, because it's so critical. Seize the moment, um, and keep pushing, keep going. Because at the end of the day, man, whew, in this new year, yes, indeed, start where you are, start where you stand, take stock and prepare. What strand do you hold? What gaps need care? Opportunity call and let courage ignite. Pack what you need and step into the light. All right. Where do you see yourself in a year, in 5 years, right? And think of as choosing like your dream vacation spot. Are you aiming for the mountain, the beach, the city? Who knows? Who knows? But dream big, be clear. That's a wrap. Remember, keep pushing. And there you have it. That was your poetic dose, the conscious and poem, your conscious. Poetic dose for you have been poetic dose for you have been consciously exposed. That's a wrap. We are done. Until next time, keep going, dream big. We are done until next time. Thank you for listening to The Conscious Edge, Poem Your Conscious. This was your poetic dose for you have been consciously exposed.